Looking good from this side.
Thank you. Sis Ntutu, welcome to Let's Unpack with Lu. I invited you today. Prof, I invited myself to your office. For just to have a conversation. It's my 32nd birthday. Ooh. I'm 31. I'm 32. Can you believe it? When did we meet? How old was I then?
I think 2012 you were maybe 20. Yeah.
Wow, that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay, can you introduce yourself and Funukula? How do we know each other? And why do you think you're here to celebrate or to wish me a happy birthday?
So Ntutu, and then we met in 2012. And I think, Lou, at that time you applied for, you remember the learnership, Letsima learnership. And I was coaching and, mentoring young guys who were transitioning from school into the world of work. So I think you were transitioning from school and then really trying the workspace. And that's when we met.
That was in 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
How many years ago?
That is
13.
Yes.
We've known each other for 13 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We've known it. I mean, yeah, time flies.
So,
Time flies.
for my guests, we've always been in touch. That learnership was for a year.
Yeah.
At a bank, and you were a coach.
Yeah.
You did not just end with me. Reason why you're here, zange uphelele apho. It went to this day. You're still there. You went from being a coach to being a therapist, a psycho, everything guiding me to where I am today. I want to give you a platform to appreciate me.
Oh my gosh. I think, yesterday when we met, and I was so happy that you are in East London and we are meeting because, we haven't had, face to face. It's
Yeah.
always been phone, Zoom, and now it was like, I was taken back, seeing how you've come and how far you've come. And if you think about it, Lou, for the past 13 years and who you are now, just the tenacity, the resilience, and I think you embody that heart of not giving up, and you've never give up. So xa ndikubona ngoku and looking back, even what happened then, the struggles you've gone through, the things you've tried, but you did not stop. So I think really that's what I appreciate the most about you, and how I wish many young men like you, life is not easy, things are tough. I think you will be that person who motivates them to say, I didn't give myself permission even when I was rejected. I did not give myself permission even when I got, let's say, fired, or this contract ended, or I could not complete this. But you just kept on and on and on. So I think that's why I want to celebrate you for that. And to say, imagine 32 years, and there's so much more that's still going to come. And I remember when I met you, I just saw so much leadership, and I think I said that to you, that is such a strong leader. And it was like, you were just brushing it off, And I was like, wow, if you could see yourself in the future, who you're going to become and who you're becoming and you are evolving to be. And I think you've displayed that, that resilience and that grit, that tenacity. This ends, but you keep on, reinventing yourself, starting something else. So I want to say happy 32nd birthday for that. And to many more years. And also your faith, let me not forget that. And I'm not sure if you are known as a person of faith, but I think our conversations, they mostly you have themes or narratives of God, the Holy Spirit, Even though sometimes you say, okay, the Holy Spirit, or maybe let me say myself. And I was like, Lunga, why can't you just be confident that you are able to hear? You know, God speaks to you. You are His child. And yeah.
You're talking about my journey. 13 years ago, I was young. I had gone through so much. And you, one person, if they want to know me, they would have to find you here. If they want to know how to get to me or through me, she's got all the files. You know everything. What do you remember the most about me when we started, when we first met? La nyaka wokuqala sisazana.
I think you're transitioning to the workspace. And I remember that you tried it, but you said that it was not something that you preferred, you know. And I think you've always wanted to work for yourself. And I think, you know, when you're coaching young people, you're thinking, you know what, maybe start, you know, and work for somebody. And then I don't think you liked that. And I think I was trying to help you keep you in the workplace. And you navigated that and you stayed, even though you were like, you know, I'm not sure if this is for me. I think you were at Hemingway's, right?
Hemingway's, yeah.
Yeah, you were. One
So
of the
I
ones there.
went to the workspace, but I wasn't happy. How long did it take for me? This is not for me.
I think
So,
about 5
so
months or 6.
just for context, your role was to make me stay there, was to mentor me into the work thing. But I came to you and said, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And you made me stay,
Yeah.
right? And what happened next?
I think at that time you had a very difficult, branch manager, and somehow you were not seeing eye to eye, and I think the workplace relationship dynamics was also making it difficult for you, because there you come in, you are a young person, and I think my struggle at that time was for people who have been in the workplace longer. You know, why are they not looking at you and thinking, wow, he needs time? Or I was once here before. I understand where this young person is at, you know, but they're going to grow with time. So I think that was the struggle, that I understood this is new to you. But then when the manager actually just expects it to be like, come in, you know, start swimming, it's not that easy.
I think one of the top things that I remember is smiling. I had an issue with smiling.
Yeah.
And I think I was told to buy a mirror and put it was in a bank situation, like in a banking sector, like a banking. I was told to put a mirror next to me because I will look wear colors that I don't smile. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then fast forward from that. Hey. So I sometimes I disappear from you. Then when do we link up again?
So I think after that, so I think the thing is not working and you have to leave. And I think as a coach, of course you feel, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to you now? You know, because this is an opportunity to gain the skill in banking, and then from there you move on. But I think that ends and then we part ways. And I think years later, I'm not sure how many years, then you contact me and say, hey, Sister Two, do you remember me? You know, and I'm like so surprised. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, maybe it was 2 or 3 years. But at that time, I think you were into tendering. You started tendering, or you bought yourself a car. So you were getting some small tenders here and there, you know, which was exciting. Because in a way, though you kind of dropped out of, you know, the leadership, you were connected. You thought about me, and you wanted to share with me where you were at. So
And
do you remember that time?
I cannot remember, but
You don't remember you trying tenders and buying yourself a car?
no, I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember where I've always placed you since we met. You've been my safe space. And I think what took me long, I always want to impress you, somewhat impress you. I always wanna, I want you to be proud of me. So that's why maybe I showed my first car. I think it was my first car, and I wanted you to see that there is more. I left the learnership, but I could achieve some stuff. So I was trying to navigate life then. And you've been there since. What challenges do you remember that I had, Nje, in this 13 years of our relationship? What is the most that you can recall? Because I call myself, did when I motivate the kids, kuya cute a life in central kuya foster. That's what I always say, mnandi one pin and vuke. And if I were to write a book, I would say something like, rejection made me. Because I've encountered a lot of that.
Sure.
And in that journey, you've made it seem okay to continue. And till you find you. You've been that sounding voice. But I know, man, Lou, you're not a lost cause. You have greatness in you. Like I barely a phone call, a session with us where you don't remind me how much big I am, how valuable I am. And yeah, as much as it is disconnected, I go through my stuff, I don't speak for a while, but I go back. I appreciate what you have been doing in my life. Yesterday you reminded me of the time I went back to varsity. Can you tell that story?
Yeah, so I think just with what you said, and I think the reason why I see this greatness, and I think if some people saw it as well and nurtured it, you know, so many young people would be great success. Because, you know, by emakhayeni ethu, nobody is there longer to say, wow, you're so great, you understand? And I think Ipeni, especially with, I would say, the black or Xhosa kind of a culture, so that people focus on. I'm not sure if can I mix Xhosa and
Yes, definitely.
okay. So ezona nto kufowukhaswa kuzo zezi zimbi, you know. Fancy uba everything ezawuhighlightwa le uyenza wrong, you know. But akufowukhaswa on what are you good at, you know. And sometimes we're always focusing on what's wrong than what's strong, you know. And I think that I saw the strength because I understand already life is trying to show you what's wrong. You know what's wrong with you, why can't you get it right, and yet what's strong about you. And I think hence I was saying to you, imagine had you focused on what was wrong, you would not be here now. And even when you went back to university, I remember you called me and you were like, hey, so Tutu, how are you? And I was like, Lou, what's happening? And like, you know, the thing, yeah, I'm in school. And I think clearly there that I never went to university. And I don't think I'll rest until I go back. And so I was shocked because I was like, are you serious? Are you really? It's like, yeah, I'm really considering because I feel like me not becoming a graduate is also into oh, you dropped out of school and whatnot. And I don't think I started deep, but why did you feel like Azuba enough, you needed to go at that time? I don't want to put you on the spot, but God, I think you mentioned that. But I think I heard you, Ukuba, until we answer that thing. Go to university, get your degree, then you feel like, okay, that would be something that you were meant to do. You did that and done that. But when you finished, it was like, I don't think you celebrated it as much as I was thinking about, wow, how does it feel?
So I remember calling you, and I've already decided I'm doing this because I want to tick the box of I went to varsity and I finished it. And when I was done, I was done. And you insisted that I tap myself in the back. This better than
They
I,
don't want to.
yeah. Okay, you were still talking. The moment now I graduate, I
Yeah.
think I called.
Yes. And we're not going to go to the graduation. It was like, I'm done. And I was shocked. Baibolu, after all these years, then what was the whole point of you? And I don't know, you were saying stuff. I'm not sure what was happening.
I didn't
Yeah.
have an outfit.
Oh, yes, you didn't have an outfit, So because you didn't have the outfit, you felt like, then what's the point of going?
Yeah. Yeah, you like, this not why are you like this? You never, I don't like, there's a best friend of mine. I tell her how much I don't like you. Because I never hear what I want to hear. You always tell me what I do not want to hear, but what is best for me.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of instances, but this time I don't have an outfit for the graduation. I need to hire a gown. I need to dress nice. It was just a lot. And I was like, Asuka, what's the point? I've got the paper. So why? And you made me realize that, Lou, you've gone back to university 3 years. You need to be in that moment, celebrate yourself. I didn't quite understand the point, but because I respect you so much and I always listen, even when I'm a
Well,
fool.
you always do, even though you don't want to hear it. But why are you like this? Oh my gosh.
So I ended up, okay, I borrowed. Let me tell you a story. I don't know who sponsored the gown. It was less than 600, the gown and the thing. But I only had the shoes, I think. I only had the shoes. The shoes were sponsored by an American you remember I worked at Michigan, that project. So he bought us shoes. So I had the shoes. My friend Tato Moshwesh, I'm gonna have to mention him. He gave me pants, pants, shirt, and the jacket and the blazer. I think I only had my undies and the shoes and the socks. And the whole outfit of graduation was sponsored. I'm trying to highlight the challenges in my journey.
Sure.
And fast forward to that, I didn't tell you this one. I've won some awards, and with the youth, with the drama, the projects that I've been doing in the Eastern Cape. And when I won my award, I went to accept the whole country. I was on the news, and I was confronting the MSc of Arts and Culture for letting us artists struggle this much. Guess the outfit I was wearing. I will insert the video. The outfit I was wearing belonged to a friend of mine, Engu Ulukholo Chemes, from Amalinda. I went to his house. I said, I have nothing to wear. He gave me his outfit. I was accepting a very recognizable independent film producer award,
Sure.
and I had nothing to wear. So that's been my journey. That's been my life. What is that scripturality in and all those things? But it doesn't have to define me. So I know I've been there.
Yeah.
And when I want to look back at my journey, I remember the kind of struggles, and I appreciate where I am. So the conversation we're having is all about me not celebrating myself enough. I wish to have that conversation again.
Yeah.
I tend to, you said I tend to what?
I said to you, but why you don't make time to stand still and allow yourself good moments where you've succeeded? Why do you invalidate the moment or minimize it? It's like you brush it off, And I think I've asked you many times, Malonga, why can't you just celebrate yourself? You've worked so hard, you are here now. And yet you would use this language where you often not that much, or you don't want to highlight yourself, or you don't want to pat yourself on the back. Well, wow, I did that, you know. Even at also like I said, okay, now how do I say this? Okay, I don't mention such words. And I'm like, but why can't you mention them? You know, because if you've done great and you've excelled in something, why can't you say, hey, Sister, this is where I'm at, you know, this is what I've done. And that always made me wonder, but what is that about? And I think I've said this to you a lot, that I think because our relationship, even though we're here, and of course I'm a therapist, but I've never really had time. I even say that to you, and you say, no, sister, I'm going to go for therapy. I'm going to go for therapy. And you've never really gone, like where you sit and allow yourself hours and hours of exploration. But why do you do
What
that?
have we been doing all these years?
Like I told you, that therapy is different in the sense that if you're here, we're focusing, then maybe me just, you know, us talking on the phone and you updating me about something, you know. And yet when you come here, it's a different stance. And I think that's why by sometimes the therapists are going to say it's a lot of work. It's not like casual kind of a conversation. It's a lot of questions as well. And I know you'd say me, I'm your therapist, and I'm like, what? You come on, Lou. There's no way. If you saw the therapist side, that one you would wanna run, because therapy is that difficult. It's not easy. That you open yourself up and you explore certain parts of yourself. Next week, you don't wanna come back. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I wanna do that again. So it takes so much from you to keep on showing up over and over again, ngoba kunzima, you understand. Qhaqha izinto ongafuni uthetha ngazo, xa uphumayo you feel uba, oh my gosh, ngathi vele wahambaze, did I just do that, you know. Next week awufuni uya. It takes time to really put yourself there, feel vulnerable, you know, uziveze, uzityhile, and then you come back again the following week. Or sometimes awukwazi the following week. It's still part of therapy. And we have to say, you know what, I think I'm good. Can we please reschedule? You understand? Because it was too much. So, inzima ngaloo nto.
Our clock has ended. I have to check something. It's scheduled 30 minutes. All right, it's 23 minutes.
23?
So, 23 minutes
Oh,
there.
okay, sure.
All right. You?
I think, sorry, 7 minutes is Shekle.
No, we don't have to
Okay.
do 30 minutes, but I told myself between 9:30 and 9:45.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think we've covered everything now.
I think so. I wanted to ask you something now that ndifuna uyiphendule this thing, if you don't mind. Yintoni le kwenza into ozenzileyo ungazicelebrate? Yintoni uyenza uba nyani minimize your hard work and how much you've pushed?
I think I'm scared that they're not a big deal. I'm exaggerating. It's nothing to some people, so why must I make a big deal out of it? Kuzawuthiwa ndiyaxhoma. Ndikhule, I think environment endikhule kuyo ubana when you speak about your achievements or your successes, people get offended. So you choose not to share or appreciate. Manje uncuma wedwa. But when you start sharing, abantu bazaba nezinto bazithethayo.
Yeah.
Nawe uyasixhomela lo uzenza bhetere kind of a thing. So I guess it never left me laa nto yokubana, okay, I'm just gonna, I did it, yay, okay, fine. But I can't share it with people.
Yeah.
Ngoba abantu bazawufeel like I'm bragging. Yeah, that's
I
me.
get you. I think I think give yourself permission. Your coma. You understand? Because if we coma, okay, then babe offended. Then people might be offended. You understand? But yet, when you want to celebrate yourself, I think it's okay for you to say, "Wow," you know. And I always say, and make time to stand still, and recall the fact that, "Wow, it felt good to get here." You know, when you recall again, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. You understand? And then again, man be wowed by the fact that you did something. Because I feel as I experience Susan's land, be wowed. They repeat in your life. Because you know, but you want to feel that like that again. And I get what you're saying, that is cool. Sort of, oh, but why can't you celebrate yourself? And allow people to perceive it as a trauma. When we ask about your ancestor, I really want to share this thing. This is what I'm celebrating right now. And this is what I've achieved. And give yourself permission to do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Ntutu.
Yeah.
I look forward to the next...
Next 40 years together.
Together,
or
yes,
50.
yes.
Because imagine now, 13 years, in the next 40, we would say I've known you for 53 years.
Oh my God. Utamkhulu, I need you to teach me something. We're offline now. I need, can you teach me how to sit confidently? Because I am never still.
Yeah.
Like, uhleli, the way you seated, you know yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to sit.
Yeah.
I'm not in the restless.
Okay. So, you wonder how you're sitting now? It's a very comfortable posture. And even you putting your hand like that. Let me take a picture. So that maybe we'll be a picture of how good you look right now. So, you're killing ubenza?
What then?
You're killing record.